to feel the same way that I feel, with all this love and appreciation for the humans that we're all surrounded with. Now, today, I'm going to introduce Benjamin Hay. Ben Hay all day. And you know what? That's how I feel every single time I open up his Instagram, and I feel so good for him welcoming me with his Instagram stories, with all of his enthusiasm, with all of his energy. It is intoxicating, and also he's the sexiest man I've ever met. So, if you're listening to this, you're missing out on half of the beauty. So just you should probably watch this. Regardless, Benjamin is one of the most prolific singer songwriters that I've seen. He just puts these songs out like on a daily basis. So we're gonna dig into his mind today and then just explore the beauty that is Ben Hay. Hello, Benjamin.
Oh, thank you. Look, I need to record that and keep that with me every day. So anytime I have a doubt anything about myself, whether it's my talent, whether it's my sex appeal, whether it's my existence, I can just play it back and be like, oh no, Andre said this on this date, May 18th, 2020. So yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Love you.
Dude, I love you too, brother. It's been so long.
Oh man. That was an amazing time though. Meeting you was definitely one of the highlights of that conference. So like I'm glad that we kept in contact all these years,
I
man.
completely
Yeah.
agree. I completely agree. Like the ASCAP music conference. Yeah, I wasn't even planning to go on there. I think I just really wanted to see what's the lady? She sings. Oh, I don't even remember her name. I'm a horrible person who loves her so much. Whatever.
Was it Milk?
No.
Trisha Yearwood?
She sings "Send Me the Moon." Send me the moon into this.
Nora Jones? No. No, 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 no,
Nah,
no, no,
nah.
no. Ooh.
All right, we're gonna get stuck on this. I don't
Yeah,
want to. Whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So I heard that she was gonna be performing, and I think she's the most amazing artist. Like the lyrics that she presents, the
Mm.
storytelling that she's able to just combine into like a 3-4 minute song is spectacular. I mean, I've cried to that song so many times, and her name will come to me. So
Now I'm in
then,
suspense. I'm like, oh no, who's it? Who's it? What's the name? What's the name? What's she look like?
I heard that she was going to be at the conference. I was like, oh my gosh, Sarah Bareilles. Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, Sabarelli's. Oh, so you
Yes.
hear a cool story? So Sabarelli's did the music for Waitress.
Uh huh.
Waitress was one of the last plays that I saw on Broadway, second to last play that I saw on Broadway. I saw it because one of my good friends, William Pop, played the abusive boyfriend. And it was the first time I had a friend that I knew on Broadway. So I don't know if you ever had an experience like that, but to see somebody you know on a Broadway stage, it's like, how can you not be inspired? And Sabarelli's was like the genius, musical genius. Like Love Song was the one that I connected with. Ooh, I love
She's
that
so
song.
amazing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like she was, I thought she was supposed to play there, and I'm like, all right, everything out the window. I'm just gonna buy my ticket. I'm gonna drive my butt all the way to California, and I'm gonna enjoy myself. And you know what?
Love it.
Even though she wasn't there, my meeting you, meeting so many other humans, just almost looking at myself from a different perspective, and seeing myself within all of you,
Mm,
I had an incredibly transformative experience. That's
yes.
it like if anybody hasn't gone to if anybody is a musician and hasn't gone to like an ASCAP music meeting, I think I highly suggest you
It's so
fucking
important.
go.
So important. Just to honestly like be in a room with peers, other creatives like you. It's just like we feed off each other's energy. We encourage each other. We teach each other. Like we get to confront everything that comes up in the room, whether it's like, oh my God, I'm intimidated by that person's energy. Wow, I'm attracted to that person's energy. It's like, ooh, it's something about that energy I might not like because it reminds me of something about myself that I don't like.
Mm,
Everything comes up in
uh,
3 days.
I know in 3 days it's just a transformative mirroring experience. It's beautiful. So
Yeah.
do you feel more connected, or like obviously we're not at the ASCAP anymore. How do you feel right now with like in terms of just seeing that reflected back to you? Do you spend a lot of time with artists? Do you see yourself surround yourself with those kind of people right now, or do you still feel like you're just this one node
You
right here?
I'll be honest, it's not as much as I would like it to be.
Hmm.
like there's been pockets of it. I'll say there's definitely been more of it. Like I've been introduced to other networks of artists that get together and support each other. Um, but it was something different about that. I think with the ASCAP conference, first off, the fact that it's in California, me being from New York, Cali is a good balance for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like my second home. And I feel like once I get there, between the palm trees and the mountains and the sunshine, I just feel lighter and I just feel more receptive to creativity and even creative spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. In New York, there's more competition.
Mm-hmm.
There's more like distrust. There's more of a guard. There's more of a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the same. I got to be honest and say that it's not
Mm-hmm.
the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, nothing's ever the same. But I tell you what, your backdrop is gorgeous. Just New York
Oh,
in the
thank
background.
you.
It's
Yeah.
it's
So
the
you're looking at this is southeast. So you're looking south in New York City. I live in Midtown West.
mm-hmm.
So when I look out straight ahead, I can see Statue of Liberty literally straight out with
Oh my
binoculars.
gosh.
Freedom Tower, Hudson River on the west.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty blessed in that way. I'm grateful because there's some
dude.
people in New York who have like a brick wall, but actually have a view.
I've never even seen the Statue of Liberty. So the fact that you just have it
Oh
outside your
wow.
window, that is magical.
Well, you gotta come visit and see it for yourself once this is all over.
Oh, amen, man. I am definitely traveling. Like this has been awesome, and I've been connecting with people, through online and just really keeping tabs on everybody, making sure everyone's okay. So once all of this is over and we can just have free reign, bro, I'm just like, I got my
Yeah,
van. I can drive anywhere I want. If I want to fly, I
love it,
can. Whatever. Who cares, right? So
love it, love
that is what it
it.
is. So can you tell me a little bit more about your, your creative venture that you found yourself in? Because I know one thing I know from you is that you've been writing like a song every single day for years. Like I think LAX
Mm,
was your project that pertains to. Can you tell me a little bit about you getting into music, how you decided to for like embark on this journey, and what has it given you in that time?
yeah, so I gotta make sure I do it condensed because I can literally go from like, okay, when I was 8 years old, I did my
Hey,
first performance.
please
So like,
do. This is the point of this
well,
podcast.
how much time do we have?
We got like an hour and a half, man.
Okay, okay. So I feel like my music journey has been in parts. Uh, when I was 8 years old, I did my first talent show, and it was me and two other kids. We were a rap group. We were called the ABCs. And then like there were these girls in the school.
That's
They
so
were like,
cool.
"Well, we want to do it too. We want to battle." So like they called themselves the one, two, threes. So it was like the ABCs versus the one, two, three. And we did like I forgot. I think we borrowed raps from like Salt and Pepper. I
Hmm.
think LL Cool J. And I think what happened is that because Salt and Pepper were talking about things I didn't know what they were talking about, I decided to write
Hmm.
that would tailor the ABCs. And I didn't realize, like, I guess I've been writing since I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And after that, I remember singing. This is so, I'm glad I'm having this platform. But Janet Jackson's birthday was May 16th, which was
Hmm.
Saturday. And while I was looking at images of her and realizing, like, oh my God, like her album Control was like a really powerful album for me. Like, well, why is it? I'm like, yeah, I saw an energy in her that was just strong and powerful and bold. And I loved like even the way she looked, like her fashion, like the all black for Rhythm Nation later on, and just there was just something about her that I was just like, oh my God, like I like the way she moves, I like the way she is, like I want to emulate that. And I started performing, and I remember singing one of her songs and just getting ridiculed because here I am performing a woman's song on stage. So being called the F word and called woman and called sissy and all types of stuff. And I stopped performing on stage.
No.
I didn't perform again on stage until I was 17. So I
Damn.
went like good 9 years without performing on stage. Yeah. And I forgot that. Like
Hmm.
yesterday, it hit me when I was thinking about her birthday and a post to put up on Instagram. And it was like,
Hmm.
I have an opportunity to actually heal this little kid inside of me.
Hmm.
So I feel like I've been on a journey to rescue my music. I feel like since I was a kid.
Wow.
So the adult in me now said, okay, if we're going to pursue this, we got to have fun with it. We
Hmm.
got to not take ourselves too seriously, but also invest so that we do take it seriously, that people know, look, it's not a game. Like I'm
Hmm.
really serious when it comes to my craft and what I put out in the world.
Hmm.
Um, Also, just the element of realizing that I can do so much healing in music for myself and give other people healing as well, like that's a big gift.
Hmm.
That's an amazing gift, and it's something that I don't take for granted. So it's been it's been amazing.
Hmm.
It's been amazing. Yeah. And then
Man.
like even from the captain hat, like I didn't plan any of this. You know, I didn't plan any of this. Like this happened by accident. Like literally, okay. So one of the moments where I abandoned my music journey, it was when I was really frustrated and feeling like, oh my God, like my ego was like, you could have been the next Usher, you could have been the next Chris Brown, but you effed it up and you made wrong moves and blah, 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 blah. All that BS that comes in. You know, every artist has that, the
Yep.
compare, despair. And I gave up and I said, you know what? I'm going to do different things. I'm going to go to acting class. So I started acting. I went to an acting school for 4 years and I started like auditioning for different shows, like major shows. And I wound up booking one role on, it was a Netflix show. It was The Punisher. Marvel's
No
The Punisher.
way. Get
Check
out.
this. Marvel's like a Marvel project,
Oh.
Netflix.
Hmm.
I got to be a SWAT officer. So I got the full SWAT gear with like the big artillery gun and like the bulletproof vest and the helmet. And we got to shoot in Carl Schurz Park on the east side near Gracie Mansion.
Hmm.
So literally, I'm thinking about myself as a kid watching like TV and movies, realizing like, oh my God, I'm on a set right now. And like, I have two lines. Like, that's principal. And I'm in a trailer and I have a stand-in, and I'm next to who's the lead guy in the episode? C. Thomas Howell, the '80s actor, and I was
Hmm.
like, wait, the same C. Thomas Howell that's been in movies with like Tom Cruise and like Matt Dillon and all these major like '80s people, and Swayze. I was like, what? So like, you know what's cool? If anybody plays 6 Degrees of Separation, I could be entered in that game because I was in the Punisher episode with C. Thomas Howell, who's been in movies with so many different people throughout his career. So like, that's actually a cool feeling to know.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I love The Punisher too. I'm gonna watch this again. It's just so I can see you.
Episode three.
Episode
Episode
3.
three.
I'm gonna take my
Yeah.
sister and I'm gonna be like, hey, look at this guy. And then look at this interview. He's my friend. I love him so much.
Well, the funny thing is, like, you see us walk on the scene and you hear me say down now, but between the offices, I don't know if you'd be able to really pick me out. But the cool thing about that is one of my best friends was watching it. And she's like, Ben, you were on The Punisher? I was like, huh? I'm like, I remember auditioning and booking and filming something, but we had to sign these NDAs, so I didn't know exactly what it was.
Hmm.
And then she sends me a screenshot of the credits, and it's like, Benjamin Hay, SWAT officer. And I was like, oh,
Oh, God.
oh, yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
first of all, Marvel did it beautifully. For like they actually brought the credits back into focus, because before that it seemed like, just even the credits, it never mattered, like, oh, who's ever in it, nobody cares. If you're in it, you can see it and you can read it. But I feel like, with the movies that they've been releasing and actually making the credits like a part of the story, and even making sure you wait through the credits to get like the final teaser piece. I think they're finally bringing
Yeah.
back, like, just kind of that connection that, hey, a movie's not made by like just I don't know, magic. Look at thousands of people that have played their role, played their part,
Mm,
took time into
mm,
it to make this freaking masterpiece happen. I feel like it
yes,
brings the humanity back into it. So yeah.
absolutely. And I think the cool thing about that is I didn't realize it until I actually became this independent artist, and you
Mhm.
see like how much it takes to make a production. And like, it's not just the people in front of the camera, it's the people behind the camera, it's the assistants, it's craft services, it's makeup people, it's so many different like cross sections of people that make one production work. It's
Mhm.
kind of like, oh yeah, there's a little bit more respect and love
Mhm.
when you actually get to see it from different perspectives.
Mhm. And it's
Yeah,
beautiful and it's monumental. Monumental. I'm so
yeah.
happy that you did this. I'm so happy that you're on Punisher and you found that. So how did you go from, being acting and all that stuff, and I guess rekindling that flame with music?
Okay, so where I live in the city, in this building in particular, there's a lot of people in different areas of like entertainment, finance, like just all walks of life.
Mhm.
And that's New York City. You literally could walk by. It could be anybody. It could be a homeless person, a multimillionaire, a doctor, a drug dealer, like just on one city block. So like that's the beauty about New York. You get to actually interact with people from like all walks of life. That's not really the same in different cities. Like you're driving or you're spread out so far. In New York City, it's like we're all on top of one another.
Mm.
So one of my neighbors was a contestant on The Voice, and we started talking about music. And he shared with me, he's like, I feel like I'm in a rut. Like I feel like I haven't written a song in so long. And I'm like, it's funny you say that. I haven't written a song in I think at least 2 years. He said, you know what? I'm thinking about doing a songwriting challenge. And he said, I'm gonna do something like maybe 30 days and just see what happens. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sign up with you.
Mm-hmm.
So he does it, I do it. He does 4 songs. I wind up doing 22 songs.
Wow.
And something in me is like, ooh, I thought I was done with music, but I don't think I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I went to school for marketing management. And I said, I know that I should probably just get some friends together who I trust just to hear these songs and tell me if they're good or whatever. So I did like this mini focus group in my apartment, had like friends from different parts of my life. And I had lyric sheets and I just let them look at the lyrics, listen to me sing it. And after like the first verse and hook, move on to the next song. And then they would grade memorability of the song, lyrics, music, whatever. And they said to me at the end, it's like, Ben, you have some really good songs. Like, you need to like do something with these. So I said, okay, if I'm gonna do something and I want to do this again, like I want to work with who I want to work with, and I want to do it where I want to do it. And my favorite collaborator, Johnny on the Rocks, was living in LA. So I reach out to Johnny and I'm like, Johnny, I have these songs I want to produce. Like, it's been a minute, it's been a long time, and I haven't been to LA in forever, and I'm overdue. And he said, all right, look, I got these dates available. And I looked at the money and I looked at the dates. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I went out and I said, Ben, if you get 7 songs done, great. That week, we wound up getting 12 songs done.
Damn.
And then I went back home in New York and I got depressed. It was like, I'm not ready to leave LA. There's more. And I got more songs. And I got more I want to do. And I looked at the money again and I was like, we can go back. We got it. Let's go. So we went back. I went back. I booked the trip like 3 weeks later and we did like 10 more songs. So I wound up doing 22 songs within those 2 trips. And something in me just started saying, I'm not done. I'm not done with music. Like, there's more. And that was before the first ASCAP conference that I went to. So that was the first ASCAP conference I went to was 2016. I met you at the 2018 one. The 2016 was like the game changer because I got to like be around other artists. And I'm not even there as an artist. I'm there as like a songwriter, and like, people hear the different genres of different songs I have because I had like pop songs, I had R&B songs, I had hip hop, I had a country song, and like literally between the meetings that we had, I would just play my music in the hallway, and people will come over like, "Yo, who's that? What's that?" Like, really interested. And I'm like, "Okay, I might have something here." So I get to that conference, and it just basically reminds me that I'm an artist. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm supposed to be doing this. It just felt right to be in LA at the time. It felt right to be making music and being in the studio, investing in myself, and picking up my music hat again. So we kept that going for a 2-year period. And the next year, it hit me. I'm like, I'm not done being an artist. Like, yeah, it's cool. I want to get songs out to other people and I want to write for other people, but I still got my own story and my own journey. So I decided I'm going to throw my hat back in the ring. So I threw my hat in the ring. I had this song called What the Fuck that I released. It was like a hip hop track, and it was kind of like a back and forth between like me and like an angry girlfriend. So I wound up being the voice of the angry girlfriend because there was a song I loved in the 90s called, remember I Got a Man by Positive K?
Nope.
What's your man got to do with me? I told you, I'm not trying to hear that, see? What's your man got to do with me? It's the one where like he's basically pursuing this girl and she's saying, I got a man, but he's like not trying to hear it and he keeps pursuing her. So in the studio, he's doing his voice, it's Positive K, and he's doing the voice for all of the women on the song. And it was like one of the biggest songs in the 90s. So like, I was like, I want to do something like that. So it's like me going back and forth with the girl. And I wound up like finding dancers, and we do a video out in LA. I said, I just vision like me dancing in the streets of LA. And like, the great thing that's been happening in my journey in music, like I'll have these ideas in my head, and before I would run into a wall and not be able to execute it because there were missing pieces of the puzzle, whether it was like the producer that hears my vision, whether it was choreographer to help me with movement, or dancers, or like just realizing that, and this is for every artist out there, if you ever feel blocked, like bring somebody else into the collaborative process. Because it's one thing for you to be able to do as much as you can on your own. Some of us can do that, but it's not necessary. And I think for me, I wish I could go back and ask for more help and recognize that I needed the help and be willing to accept it. Now it's like I'm humble. I'm like, okay, I can do X, I can do Y, I can't do Z. I need somebody else to come and do Z. And it's fun, especially when it's somebody that gets your vision. So like with me and Johnny, I can sing something and then he's playing it and he's strumming it and he's doing the composition. Now I'm at a place where I can figure out chords of my own and I can pre-produce and bring it to him and he can make it even better. So it's kind of like, because of staying in the journey, it's like I had no choice but to grow in the journey and then be that vulnerable artist where like, okay, I've made mistakes, I've dropped the ball, I fumbled passes, but I'm not stopping. I keep it going. Oh, so fast forward, going back and forth, LA, New York, LA, New York, New York, LA. Something powerful will happen to me going from JFK or Newark to LAX. I remember just every time I would be on that flight going west, ideas would just drop in my head. Like song ideas would drop in, just like video concepts, and I would just write. And making that journey back and forth for, it was like a 2-year period or 4-year period, maybe 2 or 3 year period. I said, that's the album. The album's going to be LAX. And like, I want it to be inspired by LAX culture. Like, I want people to think about the palm trees. I want people to think about the sunshine. I want them to think about like the different pockets of LA and like just the way LA makes me feel. I want to convey it on that album, but told through like relationships and like life. And that's how that album came about. So doing the album and doing any album, you always have to think, okay, marketing, promotion, photo shoots, like what concept do I want to portray and like how do I tie it in together? And because LAX is the airport code for LA, I said, oh, you know what would be cool? Like a photo shoot that's like airport themed. So like a photographer I was working out with, Manu Photo, he said, Ben, like I want you to get like airplane props and like we were gonna do like this big photo shoot. Like we were gonna find like a sick like penthouse that had amazing views. Like this is a great view, but like I knew someone downtown who had like this view that really felt like you were in the sky. Wow. Like you would look out and just see blue and clouds because it was like technically the 50-something floor. I'm on the 48th floor, so I'm pretty high up. But like you get to like 50s or like 60s, it's like a whole other world.
Wow.
So we're supposed to do the shoot, and I get sick, and I have like the bomber jacket, I have the aviator glasses, I get this captain's hat, and I forget what else. I think it's before I even had my airplane. And I still want to do this photo shoot. And it doesn't work out with the first photographer, so I get a second photographer. And then we're supposed to do with, this would have been sick. We tried to get a friend who had access to a private plane at Teterboro, which is a private airport. And this guy flies private jets across the country. And he said, listen, I'm going to be grounded for a couple of days. I might be able to help you out. I'm like, oh my God, like how amazing would this be? Like, and here's another thing, Andre, that's pretty sick. All these things that I'm doing are things that I've always wanted to do as a kid that I thought, oh my God, I got to be signed to a major label and have like millions of dollars and like sign my whole life away in some crazy contract. And that's not true. That is so not true. And like all it takes is like me opening my mouth up about my vision, putting it out there. And it's just like the universe is like, oh, we know someone who knows someone. Or especially being in New York City, it's like proximity. Like you never know who you're around or who you're going to meet. So wind up doing a photo shoot in Times Square. And one of my mentors, he says, he's like, Ben, when you do a photo shoot, it's like, use everything you have. He's like, listen, you're a handsome guy, you're a sexy guy. Like, use that sex appeal. Like, if I were you, I would strip down, do a like naked like photo shoot in the middle of everyone. I was like, wow, I don't know if I'm ready for all that, but well, maybe we'll see something. So I do this photo shoot with this photographer named Terrell, And I have my prop airplanes, like the spray painted gold plane that I have in a lot of my shoes. I have this hat, and I have a couple of other looks. And by the end of the shoot, someone's like, Ben, you got to do that shot where you strip down. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I should do it. And like, there's this older lady, she walks by me and she sees me with a rope, and she's like, do it, do it. And this is the middle of Times Square. It's like maybe 20 something degrees. It's freezing cold. And I just like, fuck it. And I take the robe off, and it's me in my Calvin Klein underwear. I'm like the black Marky Mark in Times Square. And like, he takes the photo and people are cheering it on. And like, I post it on Instagram and it starts getting traction. And I look at the image of me with the captain hat, and I'm just like, there's something here. I don't know what it is. And like, I would otherwise be like, what is this guy wearing this ridiculous hat? But I'm like, it works because, okay, the album is called LAX. It's the airport code, and I have the plane, and I'm Benjamin A, and I'm like going back and forth. I'm like, I feel like I'm the captain of my life. Like, I've been steering the stream. It's not like my mom or my dad that's like, okay, son, or being like Joe Jackson, you're going to do this and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm the one that's doing that. And you're like, God is like the command center. Like, I'm not taking that territory. But like, yeah, I'm the one that's driving this plane for the most part. So like, yeah, I am the captain. And then we go even deeper. So I go to LA and I said, all right, Ben, marketing, make sure you're memorable. If you're out there, make sure you have something that makes you stand out. So I have my gold kicks, my gold high tops that nobody else had. So if people were like, oh my God, those kicks are so cool. And then I had this captain's hat. And they're like, yo, we like the hat. That captain's hat is like really cool. And like anytime I would be at any of those panels, they're like, oh yeah, the guy with the captain's hat. Oh yeah, the guy with the captain's hat. They didn't know my name. Or the guy with the gold kicks. So there's this extra that we add on. So you can go to the different mini conferences, and then there's like the professional roundtables. So I'm at a round table, and I'm sitting down, and there's an empty seat next to me, and that's the seat that all of like the different people, all the professionals have to sit in before they rotate. So every 15 minutes, a new professional comes in. So like, one was a lawyer, one was a hip hop producer that's worked with like Chris Brown and like Drake and a whole bunch of people. And then this one guy sits down. His name is Amadeus, and Amadeus has worked with Chris Brown, has worked with Trey Songz, are just some major heavy hitters in hip hop and R&B. And he looks at me and he's like, yo, I want that hat. He's like, the captain. And I look at him, I was like, huh? He's like, the captain. And he says it like he was like naming me. And I'm like, ooh. Oh my, it felt like I'd been knighted. That's what it felt like. And I've been the captain ever since.
Damn.
So now I wear it. And anytime I do a public appearance, like I've done red carpet in it. I've got to meet other music people and entertainment people, and like it is the thing that identifies me, but like it lights me up because it reminds me that I didn't give up on my dream, and I didn't plan this. This just happened. It just happened by me staying on the journey. And when I think about like how far I've come in my music journey and my creative journey, it's like I've grown so much, and it's made my life so beautiful, so interesting. I met some amazing, beautiful people. I've gotten inspired. I can't believe I've written a song every single day since April 15th, 2017. Every single day. And every genre, I'm doing my inventory of songs, and it's like R&B, there's pop, there's hip hop, there's inspirational, there's Christian, there's country, there's a couple reggaeton songs. I mean, just like there's so much coming through me and in me, and it's like I can't stop. I just can't. Even through this pandemic, like Corona crazy happened from being in this pandemic. I was losing my mind.
Everything's
Do
fuel.
something with it. And I had to do something with it. And that's how that song came about. Like, literally, I'm sitting down, and every song had to do with the pandemic because I was holed up in my apartment. I'm watching clips on social media, the news, and I'm just like losing my mind. Yeah. So for me, like, I don't know where we're going to end up. I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I do know is that every day I wake up, there's going to be a song in my heart. I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know what the genre is going to be, but I know I'm going to respect it, and I'm going to show up to write it. I'm going to show up to share it, and I want to be grateful for it. So a lot of people can't say that. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's incredibly powerful because yeah, you just show up every single day to and be present, for whatever is going on, for whatever is in your heart. And yeah, like
Mm.
the symbology with your hat, it's one of the most powerful things. Like the story that you told about your hat and becoming the captain of your life, and that was how I experienced my artistic, I guess, introduction into this world, and just have this lightning bolt, like holy crap, I am, like you said, I'm the captain of the ship. Like I am the one driving this whole thing. And if I am, then what does that mean? And out of that thought, like this whole life just kind of comes out of it. Like you said, you don't plan this thing. This
Mm.
just comes
Yeah.
because you're true to yourself and you show up every single day. And like you just you don't allow your mind to create barriers for you. You see something, you're like, all right, well, I want to do this. How do I get this done?
You know what I feel? I feel like I didn't happen to be an artist. An artist happened to be me.
Amen. Amen. That is gorgeous. An artist happened to be me. Cause yeah, like in the past, like personally, and I'm sure you can relate too. You kind of get handed down this road in life and say, follow this
Yeah.
and you'll be successful or you'll do whatever. We'll be told whatever we want to hear. But you get to a point, yeah, where there's just something more is just itching to get out, and
Mm.
and it's our job to just to follow it, right? That's it. There's something more, and if we deny it, then we're just going to deny the existence of our true being, our true self, that which is calling upon us. But if we
Mm.
just sit there and listen, just even a little bit, and just allow it to the whispers to come through, and you say, maybe this direction, maybe this right here, and grab onto that and never let go.
Mm.
That's when you end up on the 48th floor of New York looking out at everything behind you, like magic happens.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a blessing. It's been a journey. Even like this whole pandemic has been, honestly, this pandemic for me overall
Hmm.
has been a gift.
I agree.
Like it's the time spent with myself, the time like just owning like whatever vices that I had to get me through the pandemic, and like for me with human connection, I realized like, oh my God, like the thing that I was craving for the most was like human touch.
Hmm.
Like to not be able to like hug somebody that you care about or love, it's just like, ooh, that's a tough pill. It
Hmm.
really is. Also, to not be able to just go and be active. Like I'm now starting to come back into myself, where I just said to myself a couple weeks ago, I have to overcome this fear that's being put out there, because I feel like there's a lot of fear being put out there around this pandemic.
Hmm.
And I need to be active. Like I've been riding a bike, and which is like, that was a fear of mine, riding a bike in the New York City streets. I used to scare the living daylights out of me. And I said, I'm going to attack this fear, and like I'm going to work on it. And I've been doing it more. And I'm exploring the city, and I'm doing bike paths, and I'm seeing other bicyclists, and like I'm riding near the Hudson River, and like I'm seeing parts of the city that I've never seen from that vantage point and perspective. And for me, I'm realizing that as we get older, we have to keep this childlike part of us alive.
Hmm.
And for me, that childlike energy is adventurous, is open, wants to learn, wants to absorb like a sponge, but also needs to be guided, needs to be protected, needs to be provided for. So it's kind of like, I feel like I am becoming a better parent to myself.
Hmm.
So I can do that in many ways. I can do that in the way I self care for myself. I can do that in how I create and releasing creativity, how I engage with others in like so many different ways, so many different ways.
Hmm.
And I've had some amazing experiences happen, just like moments where I just feel so content, like, wow, I'm taken care of. Like, I really don't have to worry. I have a roof over my head.
Hmm.
I have food in the fridge. I'm paying bills on time. Like, I'm healthy. Like, I woke up today. Let's start with that. I woke
Hmm.
up today.
Hmm.
I can breathe today. Like, I can move today. Like, a lot of people can't say that.
Hmm.
So, like, the little things, like just being grateful for the little things has like been one of the biggest gifts of this pandemic. So I definitely look at it as an opportunity for me to keep growing, an opportunity for me to appreciate how far I've come in my journey and like
Mm-hmm.
the many different directions I can go in.
Amen.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Obviously, we can't predict the future. The future doesn't even exist. But
Mm.
is there something that you hold dear in your heart right now, in into which you want to move towards? You know, is there something that is on your horizon that you feel like that you want to bring closer to you? Is there something like that?
Oh, so one of the big things that I got a couple weeks ago was that with writing a song every day for the last 3 years, I feel like I've been hoarding music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a part of me that's like, okay, how could I continue to let go of the music without attachment to the outcome?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some songs I have, and there's a lot of songs I have that are really special to me that I feel like, oh my God, if I put this out there, I don't want to just put it out there. Like, I want to
Mm-hmm.
put it out there with like a vision and like a video treatment, and I want
Mm-hmm.
it to land in front of the eyes of XYZ. But it's like, how can I manage that and let go at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like it's really necessary for me to like, as the creativity comes in, to like let go as well too, because it's like it drops in,
Mm-hmm.
I download it, and I'm supposed to export it out. It's like, how do I keep that process going without like jamming up my system?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So releasing Corona Crazy last week Monday was a step in the right direction. Actually, that was probably my fastest turnover as far as like songs that I'd written and put out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened during this pandemic, and now it's out during this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Like to write something and put it out at the time where it's happening, it's kind of like I'm not planning it. So someone said to me, like, "Oh, it's kind of like you're archiving."
Yep. Yep.
Like that could be, as I don't know how many songs are there about the pandemic. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know,
I mean,
five,
that's what
10.
art is, maybe, right? But that's what art is, right? Is just to take
Yeah,
life and record it down in a way, you know, through our lens, whatever that may be, you know, your perspective of
yeah.
it all. And yeah, it's archiving reality through art. So definitely, yeah,
Mm.
I think that that's completely beautiful, and um, maybe maybe we should write a Corona song too, huh? 6 songs,
Oh,
make it seven.
hey.
but I just recently, because I'm the same way. It's like there's a lot of fear going on. There's a lot of narrative that's being, you know, shared. And personally, I have like I don't know. But one thing I do know is that fear is not something that we're supposed to be living in. So I had an
Mm.
individual come to me and ask me to write like a hopeful song. So I wrote a song of just about hope in this time of, you know,
Love it.
fear, and then yeah, hoping to
Yeah.
deliver that to people, you know, because then just at least, even though we can't change the current predicament of our environment and whatever's going on is going on, in the very least, we always have control over ourselves, over our hearts, over our being. And if we can just grasp just a little bit of that hope, just
Yeah.
wash ourselves with it, then at least our perspective might change about what is going on outside. Because yeah, you're one of the few people that I've talked to that's also is seeing this whole predicament as a blessing. You know, it's a blessing in disguise. You know,
Mm.
and it takes a real deep, maybe even understanding of love, to see something
Mm.
that's painful, to see the suffering, and understand it to be grace, understand it to be a blessing. You know, so the more I feel like, the more you can do this, the more I can do this and share this into the world and say, hey,
Yes.
here's something shitty, love it, love it.
Mm. Mm. You know, as far as like purpose, also, I'm grateful about me re like how do I say this? Re-engaging my music journey because in going to that 2016 conference,
Mm-hmm.
I kept hearing the importance of social media. Like people were like, oh my God, are you on Instagram? Are you in this, you in that? And realizing that I put it off and I wasn't as serious. But then I go to that conference and that was the question that kept me asking. It's like, I hate this. Like, well, how many followers you have, and
Mm-hmm.
like how many plays you have, and how many streams. Like always the numbers and the quantizing
Mm-hmm.
and the analytics and this. And I'm just like, well, I'm a human being. Like, why am I defined by a number? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that part. But the other token of it is when I started taking that seriously, actually, I hired someone to help me out with my social media, and he actually got me from 1,000 to where I'm now, which is like 27,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
and having now followers that are from pretty much all over the country and even all over the world. I have people who have been following my journey in the last couple of years that have been so supportive and loving. And like, I've shared my art, I've shared raw parts about me, like, even if it's a still photo, and just the encouragement that I've gotten back from those people has been a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a decision during this pandemic, maybe like was it week 3 or week 4? I broke down in the shower, crying, like weeping, like the
Oh.
ugly cry, like the because water just beating down on me, like, and I'm in a fetal position in the bathtub, and I'm just like, oh. And something said, "You have your music.
Mm-hmm.
You have your music. Hold on to that." And I said, okay, I have my music. For my music, I got this persona. I also got my social media presence. So I have people like yourself that I've been in contact with. And I said, I'm going to give people hope. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to entertain them. I'm going to make them smile. I'm going to make them laugh. I'm going to bring joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of fear out there. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to do the opposite. Someone said, be the change that you want to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, that's what I want to see. So every day I've been doing this every day of the week. So like say it's Monday. So happy Monday, hey. And they're
Oh.
going to get that from me every single day. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
get that from me, right? And then I look out the window, I show them my view. And they get to see like New York and they get to see Hudson and all these other things. And then I've been going out and now it's like they see me riding a bike. They see me living life.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll see me post song lyrics. And so it's like the music is still there, but I'm showing more of my life. And what I want to do is like just give people hope that, yeah, we are in a pandemic, but perspective, like, I don't think life is supposed to stop. I think as humans, we're supposed to adapt to it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this for me, in January, I think that I had COVID. I had all the symptoms or most of the symptoms that are out there. And when I got sent home, the paperwork said unspecified virus. And they took the flu test. They're definitely not the flu.
Mm-hmm.
There's something out there. We don't know quite what it is, but yeah, it takes a little longer to get over it. That's what they told me.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that information, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be paralyzed anymore. I got to get outside. I got to be active. I have to figure out a way to engage with people in a healthy way. Like, I'm still going to be respectful. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still going to wear my mask. I'm still going to do the 6 feet of social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to be human.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to be human. And for me to be in fear, it's like, no, I don't subscribe to it.
Amen. Fear is the greatest killer of the body and the mind and
Oh,
creativity.
oh,
Man.
wow.
Yeah.
Whew. No, live.
Amen.
I'm live.
I completely agree. God, you're such an inspiring individual. Like, I love listening to. And honestly, yeah, on Instagram,
Thank you.
I gotta speak the truth, you know. But yeah, like on Instagram, I love anytime I click on your stories, which isn't always, but and then just saying you like, hey everybody, happy Monday or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, happy Friday everybody, and I'm just like, and you're shirtless, and I mean, I love your abs. I mean, why not? You're in great shape. You're in great shape. So I'm just like, look at this sexy motherfucker sitting here eating some good ass food, being hella happy, sharing this with the world. I'm like, this man is a gem. So like
Aw.
truly, like honestly, everything you're doing, fuck those kids who made fun of you and made you stop, loving music. But at the same time, maybe that was the thing that you needed in order to have this explosion of creativity right now. So you know what? Thank those fucking kids.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like
You know, it's so funny.
Go.
Yesterday in my post, when I started talking about that memory,
Uh-huh.
I was like, if I could go back in time, like, I would like tell those kids and teach them about tolerance. I'm like, nah, I'll be that parent, be like, shut the fuck up. That's my kid. Like,
Uh, yeah, that's awesome. But I mean, like, it takes strength to find that and to really build something upon it, because so many of us would hold on to that for many more years. Just say, oh, these people said that this, and I can't express myself in this way, so I need to hide this away, and never really even reach their potential. But it takes true strength and a true leader to find that pain and find that emotion and say, yeah, I'm feeling this. How can I make use of even this? And then, like a true artist, like the artist that found you, you turn this pain into a blessing for the entire planet, man. You know?
Thank you, thank you. And you know, I'll say this: the gift, bringing it back to Janet Jackson, was what I like about her as an artist. Like you've seen stages of her growth where like she's tomboying, she's giving you like a lot of masculine moments, and then she's embracing her body and her womanhood, and she's showing more. And like I so identify with that because I'm just like, oh, we all have both sides. Like we have
Mm-hmm.
a masculine side, we have a feminine side, and I wish that like the gender roles and the stereotypes, like just for an artist, is like a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to be able to be free as an artist and be able to display myself and my sexuality and even my creativity in a way where it's not always going to be put in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't need to be. All it needs to do is be like looked at, accepted, and on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to like the project that's like I always say every project is like my baby,
Yeah.
but I have one project that I've been working on for a couple years. It's called 80s Baby, and it's like inspired by all the greats that I love from the 80s, from like Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Rick James. I got one track that's given like elements of Billy Idol. I got another one that has elements of Phil Collins, Olivia Newton-John, like stuff that people wouldn't expect me to have in me, but like these are some, I think, some of my best material, and I can't wait for this project. And like, I hope that it's received well because I think it's going to connect to a lot of people, especially like if you love like 80s and 80s aesthetic and like artists and sounds from that era. It's just like, yeah, yeah,
That sounds amazing, and I like that you said that too, because I'll be sitting here on Facebook, and you have all your friends, and I'm watching my friends, and they're like, oh, they're getting married, they're getting babies, right? And I'm sitting here, and just like, well, I just made another baby. Here's my painting. Here, I made another
yeah,
baby. Here's my song. And he's like,
yeah,
here's all my babies. Enjoy this.
yeah. We should have baby showers for our creativity, right?
We
Right?
freaking should. Why don't we? Maybe like we need to start doing this more often. Maybe that's what
There we
everybody's
go.
doing. This just album release parties. It's the same thing as a baby shower.
Yeah.
I need to
I'm
jump
having a
on
baby
that.
shower for my album, 80s Baby.
Hey,
Woo!
I'll be
When
there.
it's done, I'm doing that. 80s baby shower. Oh, and everybody has to come in dressed in like 80s style, and like, woo! Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh!
it.
I maybe I've been preparing this for my whole life. All of my clothing, people say, are the '80s stuff. So
There you go.
I'm ready. I'm ready. That's awesome. There's something I wanted to touch on a little bit. I don't remember. Yeah, I get so excited with you, man. There's so much beauty in the air. So
Oh,
what I wanna dig in maybe a little deeper. Like what do you want your legacy to be? Like obviously you've said a lot of things, about love, about connecting, about just even embracing both the feminine and the masculine. But what would you want, I mean, everybody to just know about, I don't know, maybe happiness or how to live their life or how to be somebody like you, how to follow in your footsteps? What do you want to leave behind for everybody?
I want people to fly as high, as far, as fun as they can and just never ground their own plane.
Mhm.
And what that means is like never stopping your journey, never letting outside opinions like deter you from whatever it is that you set, whatever goal, whatever intention that you set. Like literally, like just really seeing it through and just staying on your journey.
Mhm.
Too many stories of people who've gotten sidetracked because, oh my God, my mom said this or this person did this. And I'm like, no, don't ground your plane. Keep flying no matter what.
Mhm.
Pandemic and all.
Pandemic and all. Amen. Amen. Like when the pandemic first came around, I was like, "Ooh, Hawaii flights $200." I've been wanting to go to Hawaii. Yeah, but yeah, it'll come around once again.
Yeah.
I want to say another thing. Like you were saying about archiving and archiving art. I've had it, like personally. I've had I don't know, breakthrough or just an understanding that like you said, it's not about the end goal. And yeah, every piece of art deserves its I don't know, frame. It deserves its attention. But at the same time, if it's coming through you, like it's coming through you, you just have to make it, let it go, make it, let it go, make it, let it go, make it, let it go. And then I feel like if you're honest and if you're authentic and if your intentions are just as beautiful as you are, I mean, eventually people will catch on. Like there's no hiding truth. As much as other people want to, maybe bury it, maybe dig it up, maybe just destroy it, there's no covering truth. And as long as you're true to yourself and you're true to your expression and you want the best for yourself and everybody else, like yeah, create it, archive it, send it out, pump them out, pump them out, saturate the world with your love. Because even if one song connects with one person and another song connects with another person, maybe all it takes is a million songs to connect the entire world together, right? And we have an entire life to express ourselves. And maybe it's not even going to happen in our lifetime, in your lifetime, my lifetime. But we're leaving this, and we're leaving this footprint. We're leaving this thumbprint for people to just find eventually, Like it's so the fact that I know you, and the fact that you are on this journey, and the fact that no matter what, even if you're crying in the shower, which that is so beautiful, and thank you for sharing. I want to do that. Like you're still showing up every single day to give back to this to society in such a positive way. Like I am lucky and so happy to know you and be a part of your life in whatever way that it is, Like I freaking love you, bro. Like I freaking love you
too, man. You have the best smile ever, man. I was like, this guy just like energy, man. Real.
I can't
beautiful.
Contain it. Nor do I want to contain it. I want to keep building it.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Build it and share it as far and wide as possible. Like and like you were saying earlier too, I've been finding myself in a place where like we can do a lot of things, but it's not about what we personally can achieve or manifest. It's about the collaboration that is achieved when you come back and just combine visions. And for me, I don't know why it's been such a long journey, but maybe just personal expectations or whatnot. But now I'm finally just come out because of this coronavirus thing. Just say, all right, well, I'm here by myself. How do I connect with people? So I reach out and like, let's make a song together. Like, let's harmonize. Let's work on a painting. I was working with
this podcast. This is art too.
Yes, this podcast. Just connect people and express their hearts and beings and say, hey, here's all of these humans in this world who are striving for such greatness right now. Right fucking now, in the middle of disparity. So it's like, what's so bad? Nothing. Just jump in on it and start contributing yourself if that's what you want. But the biggest thing is be true to yourself. Like that's the honesty. Just be true to yourself. Boom. Song for 5/18/2020. Beatboxing across the planet.
Actually, it's something you said about like, every song deserves its frame, and I was like, that's really powerful image right there.
I can send you a lot of powerful images. I can send you a whole book with words, and you can look at them and do whatever you want.
The image of a frame though, that's just like, Well, actually, I had a question for you. So if your artwork, which is yourself, was in a frame, what would that frame look like?
The frame itself. So this is a good question. So up until this point, I've been saying that all of my artwork requires a frame, a frame of mind. So perhaps if my artwork had a frame, how would I visualize a literal frame of mind? How would that look visually? Because I could say something psychedelic. That would be an easy answer, but something ethereal. So how could you create a frame from something that's non-existent but is still tangible? So maybe some sort of okay. If I had a frame, it would be, maybe I'd set up maybe like a what are they called? Like smoke, like call them smoke machines, right? And maybe add a little bit of light behind it, so the smoke, it'll evaporate, but it's still there. So it's moving, and it's always present, but it's always fleeting, right? So that would be the frame that I would use.
Okay. Huh.
That was cool. Thanks for that. I didn't know. How about you?
So for me, I love gold and gold embellishments. So it's definitely gonna be gold, but have like details where it looks from far away like one thing, but as you get closer, you notice more and more and more. And what I like about that, the element of like, you have to get close to it to learn more about it. Because
I
your first sight, your first judgment might not be what you see.
I relate to that so much, 1,000,000%. Like I have an entire, drawing line that I've done like 20, 30 drawings, which that's exactly it. Like I go so deep into the focus of it all because I mean you could see it from afar and there's a general image of whatever it is. And then
Yeah.
you come in and you see that everything is made of something else, is made of something else, is made of something else, is made of something else. And then you could just
Yeah.
get freaking lost. I mean, is
Yeah.
that not life? Everything is just
Yes.
something else, something else, something else, man. I mean, that's all. That's it. Um, my gosh, this is. I'm on
This is
fire.
fun,
I'm
man.
on fire.
It's fun. No, no, listen, like, and look, like, there's a part of me that's like, oh wow, like, this is my story. This is part of my story, and like, I get to talk about my story. Like, how cool is that? Like, where else would you get to talk about yourself outside of a therapist couch?
Oof, ooh,
A
right,
podcast.
dude. Podcasts are so amazing because, dude, okay, let me tell you what. I don't know if you do podcasts often, but the podcasting community is so amazing. Obviously, you have to sift through like with anything else, but the people, the hosts that you can find, like they're very inquisitive, like they understand conversation like you do. I know you know how to conversate. You're amazing to play back and forth, and like there's never like this judgment or a desire or even just like like you're there to connect with the individual. You're there to just share each other's stories and just to be like, hey, we're two people, let's talk about being two people, and I found the podcasting community and just this art form such a liberating process, and just one of those ways where you can take even personally my message from music and apply it to just to life. Be like, hey, this is my message, and I condense it into music here. But if you want to feel it, if you want to live it, here it is.
Mm,
And I find so many individuals, and just like this, finding that passion, finding their voice, finding their story, and saying, yeah, I could be afraid, I could be scared. I know many people who just started a podcast and they're terrified and they don't know what they're
mm,
doing, but they're like, I have something beside me, and you know what? I'm just gonna get on here and do it. And it's
mm,
very accessible. So,
mm.
like this right here,
Oh,
for connection, I think this is invaluable. You get to see the
yeah.
face, you get to hear the words, you get to really be together in this space. Like words themselves, letters, sentences, on paper, it kind of loses its meaning. I mean, it doesn't all the way because again, you can read a book and really connect with
Yeah.
an author, but when you can hear the voice, you can feel that vibration. It's all about vibration, and you can really embody whatever's being done and said. And that's why, like,
Mm,
I'm incredibly grateful for this medium and for all the people that want to jump in and like share their hearts, their vibration, because dude, it's all about you. It's the fact that we come together and have this magical explosion of freaking
yeah.
love, man. Freaking love.
It's orgasmic.
It is orgasmic. It is orgasmic. uh, uh, I always think of a GIF. There's I think it's from like Tim and Eric show, Adult Swim, and he's always just like this, and there's like actual fireworks in outer space, and he's like, I don't know if anybody's ever seen this GIF.
Tim and Eric, I haven't seen that. I've never heard that.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, back in the day, Adult Swim had the Tim and Eric show, I think, and it's just the weirdest, like almost like a skit or like a sketch comedy kind of thing, and it's just freaking weird. And yeah, like anytime I go into GIFs and I just say something like wow or something, one of them, I don't remember which one's Tim and Eric, but one of them just sitting there just like and just weird faces because they love to do that.
Huh.
So
Okay.
so
Let me
that's how
search
I
that.
felt. That's how I felt in this moment. Oh,
Oh, I love it. Love
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's beautiful. Any closing thoughts before we sign off and let the listeners go back to their lives of amazingness and creativity?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, especially for those that might be struggling during this pandemic, just like you're not alone. You're not alone. And what I love about my song Corona Crazy, I talk about like all the stuff that went through my head. Like I'm scared about the economy, and like I'm missing human touch, and like we've never been through this before. Like we've never been through a pandemic before. So leave you alone. You're probably doing the best that you can. Just love yourself a little bit more. Like indulge a little bit, but don't overindulge. Just try to find your balance as best as you can through it all. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Find that balance. Love yourself as
Mm,
much as you can, and
mm.
keep on keeping on, because tomorrow's not promised. But today you're
No.
here. We're all here, and we can make the best
Yes.
out of today. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Amen.
Amen indeed. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure for you guys to come around and stick around with us for another episode with myself and Ben Hay. I hope you check out his music. I will definitely include everything in the show notes for you guys to explore, because this man's heart is definitely worth exploring. His mind, as you just noticed, a gold human being.
Oh,
So I'm gonna let you go. I love you very much. Peace
love you
out.
too.
I'm not.
Later.
I'm not talking to you. Bye.
Oh.